All right. Live action. We are here. Episode 4. What I want to call Fuck Is You Talking About? Because what do y'all be talking about? There's so many, I believe, issues within the world. I don't understand how one is not living a selfish life, or how living your best life is productive to the whole, for all of us. I don't necessarily want to live my best life, being that it's not possible for everybody. There is a video, and it is not circulating the way that it should, a police officer. I don't know when the laws have changed, for real, or when they do change, or what's changing about certain things, but at a point in time, policemen are not allowed, still should not be a thing, to put their hands on women. This police officer is not only trying to get this young lady up out of her seat, but he definitely swung on her with his hands. And essentially, they are transit police, not even fucking police officers, officers of the United States or capitals, whatever, wherever they're at, laws that they have to provide for, so-called provide. This young lady just didn't apparently pay for the bus, which is crazy. How one can steal from the train, but can't steal from the buses, and how you just go on. They put their hands on this girl, like they tased her. At a point in time, it is 4 men now around this young lady, pushing her, forcing her. And so my opening statement about how one can live one's best life, not looking to produce any children in the state which we live in, and not state as far as the united or territorial state, but as far as our circumstances, the state in which we are living in as people who don't like each other. I don't know if enough people know, but a lot of enjoying life is a part of you liking who you are. I don't think the internet, televisions always allow, radio even. Don't let me forget any of the medias. All of the medias have their way about them. Too much of anything can be a bad thing, as I once and do know. So, for us to essentially say that we need governing and are being governed and want government, it is an unnecessary and very damaging situation on the people. I don't think the government, this government, is practical for us. I don't think it works for us. I don't think it is for us. I think as many of us it is, we should be changing the government. I understand if y'all want to be governed and need somebody to essentially look over you and look out for you. But that's not what this government does. Essentially, you could rewrite the Declaration of Independence. When it was essentially and initially written, and people were still enslaved, women were being disrespected as they almost are today. I don't know if it ever got better or worse, to be honest. I wasn't there when it initially started. But to think about how many rapes and traffickings take place today, I can only imagine what happened back then when we didn't have certain technologies. Granted, our population today may make the numbers more drastic, but in a society in which it is almost normal for a man to put his hands on a woman, abuse and rape don't even get the attention that they should back in the day. So for me, it's not about the numbers. It's just how long the sin itself is taking root. It's taking place. You know, as I sit in here smoking, talking about what we do wrong, right? In no point in time is smoking supposed to be so-called good for you. Well, I wouldn't say any point in time. Like I said before, too much of a bad thing, too much of anything can be bad. And I think that'll be my topic. I could freestyle from that perspective. Too much of anything can be bad. For smoking, essentially almost any plant calms the nerves. Um, it could be said to be a certain form of tea. Taking in the herbals. At the same token, smoking can cause black spots and darkness on your lungs, which essentially is a problem for the fact that we breathe. You ever imagine a fish smoking? I mean, obviously not possible to essentially light a fire under that much water, but under that much water, understand I'm from Philly, under that much water, but I often imagine how fast fish fries in hot oil. So the question still stands. You ever imagine a fish smoking? It would almost die quicker because of the effect it would have on its lungs. Its gills. You could even drink too much water in a time period and drown yourself. Go, damn. We essentially need water to survive. We need to drink as much water as we can throughout the day. To put a certain amount into your body without the time to exert it. And I mean piss, sweat, any form of getting water out of your body. And you take on too many gallons, so much water, you could drown yourself. I couldn't just throw a penny at you and kill you, but a penny with enough force, too much, as we are saying, too much of anything could kill you. A penny with too much force behind it, too much speed, could pierce you, go straight through you, hurt you, kill you, essentially. I'll argue with you. I guess it's a podcast, right? It's a recording. You can't really argue back except for in the comments. At that point, that's why I don't really comment back on too much stuff. It's a comment. I'm glad you got to make it. Congratulations. It's a free country, right? I mean, essentially, it's a free world. You should be able to say whatever it is that you want to say. The only real person who has some authority over us as people would be a higher power. I essentially believe in the fact that there is a little bit of truth in everything. Just like on the flip side of it, everything could have a little bit of a lie to it too. We speak on facts as if things don't change. That is a fact. It's funny how we could speak on water and not think about ice. Too much water, as I said, could kill us. And just to think about how real global warming actually is, which means the ice that we aren't seeing, we don't know about, is melting. Just means the ice is no longer there. The element that it is still there, still present. The water is still, it's growing at this point. If if you put if you fill your glass to the brim with water and then decide to put ice in it, not only will it immediately overflow, but then once and as the ice is melting, it will continue to overflow. Vice versa, or not vice versa, but yeah, vice versa, I think I want to say. Our beaches are gathering more water. Our edges are dissipating. It takes shorter time to reach the water from the boardwalk than it did when I was a kid. At a point in time, I didn't like the beach because of how much sand it is. It took forever to get to the water. So many families you had to walk past sometimes. Depending on where your spot was, you had to walk around a lot of people, walk through a lot of sand, get attacked by a bunch of birds. Today, takes no time for one to get from the boardwalk to the water. It's more water. For someone to tell you that something does not exist, and for you not to be able to see in your world that which is arguing what they are saying, is my problem. I do appreciate more individuality. I guess my problem with the United States is that it is just that, not united. It it is a unit of people that want to be considered and taken serious as a united bunch. But we are not in agreement with any of this. I guess as an individuality, as an individual, as a person who believes in individualism, and the identity of people, I understand that a vote does not count. It doesn't essentially matter. To say that there are 10 people in one room and 7 votes, fuck it. Speak more on your layman terms. Excuse me. If you win 4 out of 7 games, there is no reason for you to finish the series, correct? I imagine that in the beginning, they did count votes. I imagine with just counting certain, as they said, men, there's a certain number, there's a control to the situation. As many people as it is today that have the opportunity to vote, I do not believe that they are counting all of those votes. It is so much of it that does not make sense to me for it to be taking place. In your households, in your little communities, your little organizations in which you work in. Do you take votes? And do you realize that in that smaller environment, what matters? Are you examining growth? Do you want to actually grow in certain situations? We have grown as a United States, the population of people, the respect for the different people that we have come to gather and know. We cannot honestly be living by the same governmental laws that they did back then. From the start of this, John, from the beginning of the Declaration of Independence, do you now realize that we celebrate so many Independence Days as a united people? I don't even think certain people, celebrate that which they did before, because there is now a new date in which we acknowledge an independence. There is so much change that has taken place. The biggest change that needs done has not. So the problems have not. At a point in time, it was studied and understood that the drug community, the poverty in which some people need to live in, is that it's needed in order for others to be satisfied and live sustainably. There needs to be a platform to stand on, basically, plain and simply. It seems that at a point in time, in the Tower of Babel, they were using things rather than each other to make it to heaven. We have lost the sense of verbal interaction. We have even subtracted it ourselves in the form of telephones and letters, text messages, videos. We are not as connected as a people as we once were. We are essentially using each other as letters. We are stepping on. And it is amazing to me how many shows I've come across that study the animal kingdom and compare it to who we are. How the idea of courtship, marriage, it's something so has been, can be so complicated for the Homo sapien, right? Is that what we are? When it comes to scientifically speaking on matters of mating, for love, essentially, is something that is felt by us and us alone. That is the thing that we share with our higher power. That everything else does not get. We are separated from the animals, from the plants, from the elements of the strength of. We have the ability to feel and accept love, which makes a lot of sense to me at this point in time. It's a little deeper than what I want to talk about, but in that sense, we complicate the mating process, whereas animals do not. Animals get it in and get on with what animals do. Essentially, there is an insect, I believe, that mates and then dies. That's it. I think they say flies have the shortest lifespan. They're living for 3 days in our time, essentially. So they come out, they eat, they fucking, they die. I essentially don't ever think I know what a fly looks like when it's asleep. I don't think we've ever been able to study flies in that depth. I might have to research and find out. Well, in a 3-day lifespan, what am I sleeping for? You know? So, so much of anything can be bad. And it is what it is. My essential argument is that that's what took place between God and Lucifer. he was around God too much. And like, we don't ever get the details, you know, the stories that we sometimes want and should have. I mean, in all honesty, it dwells on you making a decision, right? It's no longer what you feel, but what you know, or think you know, right? And I can imagine as the relationship develops, certain relationships dissipate. I grew up with many cousins, and in the sense of a manhood, these were so many single male cousins. And one by one, they dwindle off into marriage, into courtships, and we don't see each other as much as we once did before. We are no longer associated as we once were. These two people have now essentially become a one, right? And I don't know about you, but I've felt this sense of two people becoming one, so much so that there is not space for you, right? Now, God, being God, understands that, well, damn, if I keep enjoying this time in my own room, so much so, I won't be stepping outside. This cat is gonna think that he the ball. You ain't never seen nobody. Just go ahead and, you just go ahead and stay right here. I got you. I'll bring some back. The same token, too much for Lucifer. Got to his head. Got to who he was. Yeah, look at me. I do kind of look just like him, don't I? Because, I mean, Lucifer is, to be said, one of the most beautiful instruments. He was made up of all the instruments. He could play a tune, sing a jam. He could do every musical thing known to person, you know. And I get that. Heavy is music a thing. Art itself, entertainment, is a beautiful thing that people have the ability to create and just sit back and look at. Okay. Now, I don't really know that too much alcohol is a bad thing. But balance is what's key. I guess that's why I am terrible in relationships. Essentially, maybe because I think like that. That these two are now about to become a one. So much of myself that I would have to give up, right? Essentially. It's not always what we see fit. There are things that we want to accomplish as people, individuals. Someone asked me, said, "Why'd you cut it? Why'd you cut your hair off? Why are you gonna cut your hair off? Why are you doing this?" I need a fresh start. At a point in time, I was being very unhealthy with my hair. When I first got them started, it was a healthy task. It grew so nicely. The maintenance over time was not what I saw fit. Knowing what I know about hair and what I want to do with my own, I needed to restart, rebirth, dead the old. The new growth that is taking place is it's got to get cut. And so, not only is the videos going to be a great documentation of my hair process, because if today is Monday, I cut it a week ago. I cut it last Monday. And here we are, back at which I need to cut it again. For the record, I'll go the month of May with as low as a cut as possible. That's why I'm saying I gotta cut it today. Get some done to it. It's too much hair up here at the point in time. Samson, I got his hair cut and lost some shit, you know? Some shit that was so essential to him. But miraculously, the ending of his story is greater than when his hair was cut off. And without certain things, he's still able to conquer that which he saw fit to conquer. So life is pretty grand. I don't have certain too much of anything that is going to be a bad thing at this point in time. I have slacked so much on certain things, I guess, though, so there is too much, I guess, of a lack on some things, I guess, now. I need to find a balance. Excuse me. I need to find a secure position for myself and balance it out from there. I've written a book. It is called North, South, East, West. It speaks on my parenting and a certain relationship I have within the household. And as I evaluate myself and have now, put that out there, understand myself to be a loner. watch so many things, as they call them, drifters sometimes. I am an Aladdin, a street rat. I'm a Mr. Robot, weirdo, creep. I am a black sheep, essentially a shun of not only society, but some of my family and friends. I mean, we all have that relationship in which we don't associate so many things with so many people, you know? I work with these people, so I don't expect them to know, you know, a certain friend of mine, because this is my friend here, and this is this person, right? And respectfully, I guess I should say I have the capability, the respect, the, there's a word that I'm looking for, about me, in which I can and could live with anyone, anybody. But that's a one-on-one deal. I'm a great addition, but I'm too much of a one to be added to a population of. I don't like voting, I guess, also for my selfish reasons. But in this great debate, this battle, I don't see much change taking place when voting is in accordance. And for every situation of a voting, the argument is that there is not enough people. Now, numbers frustrate me, okay? But the presidency, right, is not the vote that essentially always is in the matter. And voting on, excuse me, and about your state, your Congress, your people that are closer to you in relation to what's going on in your environment. Almost matter more than your president. You have people who can outrule him. Those votes that more or less they want more people active on, you know. And I say, it don't none of that matter. Because what they have on the black and white, the rules that these people now have to work and live by, once they get behind these closed doors, it don't even matter who it was. I'm not saying that conspiracy is so real that, you know, if we did per se get a certain person into the office that was gonna, you know, take a lead and take some power, that they're gonna kill him. They're gonna kill her. I ain't about to sit here and act like I'm the liar when I say, good and well, some of them boys was happy to get RGB up out of there. Oh, finally, they said. There's somebody in there not fucking with what? Nope. Nah. No, sir. But now look at this. Look at him. Look at him. I think that everyone should have been taught and have knowledge base of how to plant, how to harvest, to understand weather patterns for themselves. Where you live, only certain things are going to grow. How you live, only certain things should be planted. The whole idea of government cheese is so to me because it was to my mother who had to take it, in which we don't and wouldn't have to if essentially we all knew how to make cheese for ourselves. Now, I don't want to get started with what you don't want to do, because that's going to take me right back to why you want to vote in the first place. But what we would need to do, essentially, is what eliminates so many problems if we just did it for ourselves. Now, I'm not a parent, so obviously I'm not thinking of all of the elements which take place in the individual, because yeah, you two now have become one, so that is your decision. But then when you spring forth children in whom you don't brainwash, you now have another individuals. Some against who are going to go against your household based off of love. Possibly with somebody else from another household. Happen to hate. Just fucking hilarious. And I mean, I might be into it too much because of, TV shows and things of that sort. But in all honesty, is that not who we are? What we see in books, what we hear, what we watch, does that not get consumed by us and then spat back out. I have a close relationship that spoke with me on how much I watch Family Guy. And essentially, Family Guy would play while I was asleep, getting sucked into my subconscious. And I was rude, you know, stupidly saying some things to people. I didn't deserve it. Almost like Peter would treat Meg and Lois. Almost like Stewie would be at work, you know. Everybody else here is an imbecile. And I should just do it myself. And on many occasions, excuse me, just over here handling some business. On many occasions, yeah, I should go ahead and do it myself. The issue is, I do it well. So people expect and kind of want me to do it, you know? Hey, I like the way that looks there. Can you do mine? All right. That's where work comes in, right? And some of us don't have the luxury of living our work or working our lives. I don't know how you want to accept that. But basically, you know, some people enjoy what it is that they do for a living. Some don't. What I do not agree with is that some people are being forced to live a certain lifestyle. You don't have the opportunity to live another. You don't get that luxury. How? You might ask. How? In this land of the free and the home of the brave, are you not admitted? Well, I guess my question is, how are you? Why do you think you got that? Where do you think that comes from? I don't. Let me correct my English, my American language. Yeah, it's the part that pisses me off in the first place. Is because English is stolen like a motherfucker. We've stolen this language that we speak over here from everybody. Ain't got no business saying chow over here, but we know exactly what it means. Just saying bye. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't from France. Damn. I don't even know where I was with that, but I do not mean to be a racist. But I'm American. And that's what Americans are. Uh, if my calculations correct. In order for 40 acres and a mule to have been given to each family that existed at a point in time, to think about a group or race of people that was hunted down, chased away, killed, lied to, betrayed, betrayal, I guess, would have to be the deepest thing. The thing that cuts the worst is that y'all betrayed the Native Americans the way that life is. Like what, bro? This land is stolen land. People are stolen people. So no, some points I don't feel like speaking properly. I'm not going to. I'd rather not. Nigga, shut the fuck up. People tell you to shut up quicker than they want to listen. And some wise words I once heard were, we got 2 ears and 1 mouth, which means you should listen more than you speak. That's simple. Make you go, damn, how'd y'all get to be so wise? We got all this stuff today. What are the major reasons you taught me math? I guess for me, I just want to count my money. Because, it ain't like I'm making what I'm actually worth, right? Or everybody's parents is just lying to them. Because you should be making what you think you're worth. Yeah, damn right. But then you don't give me the tools that I need to even get my own worth. I don't believe it. Excuse me. The young lady that I was starting this whole podcast about is the topic of why I don't want to and why I do not have kids. We got to get some things right first. I'd be damned if y'all treat my child any way in which y'all have already treated me. To essentially be fearful of having a daughter has nothing to do with how I have personally treated women. It is all about what this world does to a woman. Bro, I want to go on record saying that the mathematics need to be done. I mean, I'm pretty sure these women were already on fire for what they wanted to do and were going to do with their lives. But you damn straight things got a little out of hand after y'all give a fucking award to a man who got a sex change. Now, I was trying to be, productive, not just be talking shit, do some research, because all I kept calling it was the Woman's Award. Y'all gave a man the Woman's Award. And these women been women for years. That motherfucker just got here. He a fresh baby in the fucking vagina world. Ain't even. Y'all spat him out grown. Won't sit up here talking about something. Here's an award. Oh, grave. And so, yeah. They done up the ante. And so outside of them up in the ante, y'all gonna sit up here and try to act like y'all should be in control of abortions. Which is upsetting. Because me as a woman, if I got pregnant, I'm offing this baby the only way I know how to sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And you can't have a baby without the fucking I wanna call it a humidifier. But it's a fucking machine that they set the eggs in because they didn't have a chicken sitting on the fucking eggs. So they had to sit up under this lamp. But not funny. I would off myself to not have a baby. If y'all really sit up here and act like I can't have an abortion? I can't go about the safest way to get rid of this child? You signed my death certificate. That's all you did. And personally, I signed that, John, years ago by accident because I was in there to fill out for a birth certificate, and I don't know why they so close to each other. But yeah, I don't be reading some stuff sometimes, and I was about to hand them in the paper. My death. Um, but life is so disrespectful. There's no way we should be having any of these arguments. And no one wants to say it because we're such a religious, free environment. But this is all just off of sin, bro. This is us trying to control each other about the things in which we see as wrongdoing. Now, obviously, there's some people who don't believe in higher power, right? So essentially, they take certain things into their own hands, as some would say, right? That's an argument for another day. I don't know what to tell you right now because I'm a working man. I go to work. I know that the Heavenly Father provided me with the ability to work. So I should. I also know that as a man, I cannot think that I'm going to get or do anything without some work being done. I guess my next issue is what would be classified as work? J. Cole said, dudes from the hood, he said niggas, but I don't like saying it. But let me quote properly. He said, niggas from the hood is the best actors. Because we are the ones who got to wear our face backwards. In some areas, they would call it code switching. A smart person knows that in many occasions it's needed. Some of us don't even have the ability or sense. I personally could care less sometimes. I guess it really all depends on the situation at the point in time. This white young man said the word nigga at work one day, and I don't say it that often around my friends. I quote things, sing songs. Even then, I'm not listening to a rapper who is dropping nigga and bitch every other fucking sentence. So, for you to talk that way around me is just, I'm not gonna call you weird, but it's unacceptable. I don't have those type of friends. All my guy friends who call bitches, I call them bitches. My lady friends call me a nigga, and I'll be like, what? Who? Gay? It's too comfortable. He said, I bought a Glock and It's in my bitch purse. She know. She know I don't mean no disrespect. I just talk different. No, you're not gonna talk to me like that. I've been watching Bridgerton. I understand how that type of society can be a certain amount of bondage. But the height at which a woman holds herself in that society is what we lack. And not just to say a woman holds herself, you know. Because just like the Bridgertons, you have your other show on Hulu, which is called The Harlots. And it's a society thing. Some people are raised in certain environments and some aren't. I'm coming to accept certain things, learn that, you know, certain things shouldn't be mixed. I'm also coming to understand myself as a person that wants and seeks balance. Never verbally, I guess. Oh, I said it before. But I want to go on record. It'll be coming out in my book pretty soon anyway. I think. You know, I don't always remember what you wrote. But the way that my stepfather may speak to my mother on certain occasions. And behind closed doors, you know, the relationship is what it is. But on multiple occasions in the family environment, I never accepted the way that he spoke to my mom. Almost, you know, on the exact opposite. I gotta not appreciate how much my dad didn't speak to my stepmom. I can understand the idea of being so angry you don't want to say certain things. At the same token, I do not understand how one could be angry enough to say something to someone in which they love them. And yeah, matters of the heart aren't always the matters of the brain. That's why I don't understand most of the time what the fuck somebody else is talking about. Because sometimes I guess it's just, why are you talking to me about it? What do you want from me? What can I do for you about that, huh? But that's enough for today. I've consumed enough time. I need to get some things evaluated. Get my hair chopped. Make some arrangements for work. Hopefully one day, things like this will become my source of work. I'll be getting paid to live my life. I guess essentially what this is me expressing my individuality, hoping that, it'll rub off. What do you say? So I'm just a ripple effect. Hopefully it sparks another. I'm a rock thrown into a quiet pond, hoping to get the blades of grass wet on the other end. I just think a lot of our issues and problems wouldn't be so if we thought and did things for ourselves. I don't think there's always what you call bad in somebody. It's not bad. A lion is as bad to a lamb as the lamb is bad to a blade of grass. Right? There's more of one anyway. I ain't even gonna get that involved because, we're not that much like the animal kingdom.